Hello, my Leo loves, and all of those who have significant Leo placements, or just a whole lot of them. So you got a lot of Leo on that chart. Welcome to your Capricorn season reading. I am excited to show you something a little different from the reading that we did last month, which was a start, stop, continue reading. This time we are going to be focusing on a somatic practice, a journaling prompt, and affirmations to go with some of the energies that we're going to be working with from the beginning to end of Capricorn season, which is around December 21st, 22nd to January 21st, 22nd. So I'm so excited y'all are here. If you have any predictions for what you're going to be focusing on, you have any intentions that you want to that you want to set, go ahead and drop it in the comments now before we even start, just so you can center yourself on some of this energy here. Go ahead and do that. Get some water if you haven't already. And I will introduce you to our cards. So first, for our somatic practices, we have the Hack Your Nervous System deck, which is 60 evidence-based practices that help reduce stress, alleviate anxiety, and retrain your nervous system. I love these. Next, we have the Super Attractor cards. The illustrations, the paintings are really beautiful on these ones. That's where we're getting our affirmations from, and where we're getting our meditation / journaling prompts from to help us dive deeper into the message. We're using the Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck. So today for ya, it was just the Voyager Tarot who wanted to come out and play, so that's who we were working with today. And let's get started. Let's get into it. First, we have some crystal cards. We have the 10 and the 2 of crystals, which is very interesting. We have the equanimity card and the delusion card. Hello, Leo. If delusion doesn't scream, equanimity, right? Yeah. If delusion doesn't scream Leo, then I don't know what does. And that's not to say that we're insane, and I say we because my Jupiter is in Leo and my rising is in Leo, if you couldn't tell. But it's to say that we often get to the very end of some kind of lesson or journey, or we finish telling the story of a situation that we were just in, and we paint it a totally different color than it actually happened in. So I get the sense that for Capricorn season, y'all are going to be, and in reality, we are going to be really needing to manage our perspective, needing to be conscious of the lens that we're viewing some of our stories from the past and present through, so that we can come to it with that sense of equanimity, so that whatever is going on inside of us is not indicative of like what we think other people think of us, or indicative of the way that we can convince ourselves that something is right, or that we are right, even when we're wrong. We can often paint the way that we tell our stories to ourselves in a hue that is most, not appealing to us, but what is it called when it's like complimentary, that like complements our skin tone the best? Like if we have to paint ourselves into a story, a Leo is going to paint themselves into a story that is the right color for our skin tone. And there's not a problem with that necessarily, but this is to say that paying attention to the reality of it, and paying attention to the honesty with which we paint with those tones, making sure that, like, yes, we are painting ourselves in the most uplifting and empowering light possible, but also flecking in those bits of contrast so that we can remember what equanimity feels like and looks like in acknowledging the full story and the full scope of how our relationships have evolved, or how a situation turned into something else that we had to kind of fuck around and find out our way through it. If we, find ourselves during cap season flying by the seat of our pants, it's an opportunity for us to reflect on just how vulnerable we're being, and also how much sort of room and respect we're giving to the experiences that are trying to lead us and that are trying to guide us. Because crystals, these are two crystal cards. And if you know anything about classic traditional tarot, crystals syncs up with the swords, the suit of swords, which is all about mental energy in the mind. So if you think about the way that we process things, um, especially in our white supremacist colonial society, we don't necessarily have that great of a connection with our bodies and our emotions. We say things like, I feel like I just want to go and get something to eat right now. That's not a feeling. That's not an emotion. I feel like hunger is upon me. I feel like anxiety is causing me to want to eat. I feel anxious. I feel stressed. I feel da 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 da. That's like cups energy. That's for us to like really drop into our bodies and get into the flow of what's happening with us. Crystals, swords, crystal energy is about the story that we tell ourselves about how we feel. So pay attention to how these situations that you go through this coming month make you feel, and then pull back every now and then, maybe with this journaling prompt that's coming up. Pull back so that you can really get a clear sense of the picture that's ahead of you. We also have the Sun card and the Seven of Worlds, the Breakthrough card. I'm going to show you this one first. Seven in this deck for me is the number of power and protection. And when I see the Breakthrough card, I often think of what it's going to take to make sure that in all the situations that you put yourself in, all of your relationships, in your relationship to money, in your relationship to your home space, in your relationship to your job environment, your work environment, what is it going to take for you to feel empowered and also to protect that sense of empowerment? I feel like that's definitely going to be coming up as we cross through like the holiday season. It's always real sort of fudgy to like try to make sure that we are keeping our boundaries in line. And that's also like financial boundaries. Leo placement people, just got to be honest, we're not great with money all the time. We will come up with any excuse possible, and it's like a lovely reason, but we'll come up with any excuse possible to spend more than we make. So be sure, if this is you, that you are writing out a budget and you are paying attention to whether or not you are living above your means, because the level of protection that we need for the coming year is so much higher. Like the bar is so much fucking higher than it's been in a long time. Be sure that it's coming from a place of empowerment, though, that you know why you're doing it and you're not just like trudging through like a financial planning, budgeting, like whole thing, that you're like, I'm empowered to know this information. I am empowered with this knowledge, because now I'm not just worried about the things that I'm buying and the things that I'm doing for other people out of generosity, but also costs money. I can feel empowered to say, you know what? I actually can spend $60 toward this dinner for my friend who is sick over there, and I want to be able to take care of them, but I can't, and I'm physically in my. I feel empowered when I know how much money I can put towards something and how financially responsible I'm being by saying yes to some things up front. So later, when I say no to myself, I can already know just how um, abundant minded I was being at the time that I set those boundaries. The Sun card. The Sun card for me is a it feels pretty literal. It feels like there's nothing that's really pulling my eye in this except maybe for the tropical fish here. But that's just to say that I think during this cold season, during the winter time, we need to make sure that as people who have fire signs, because Leo is a fire sign, as people who have fire signs, that we're getting outside and we're getting that sunshine. Make sure that you cover up and you take care of your skin and you protect yourself. Make sure that you are being smart about the places that you go to and that you go with friends. Use the buddy system. All my babes out there, be careful, okay? And make sure that you're getting that sunshine. Make sure that you're feeling that warmth on your skin, because you might feel dead on the inside if you don't get that once in a while. I promise you, I'm right there with you. So this is we've had like a lot of different pieces to this reading. So I want to just frame this journaling prompt as like an overarching sort of prompt. I mean, if you go in and you watch, the other horoscope videos for your astro chart and you see the other videos that I made for this month for Capricorn season, you'll see that they all kind of like connected. But y'all have had, I mean, I'm only up to Leo right now, but y'all have had like pretty distinct messages that wanted to come through. And I think for that reason, there's something in the how can I be more flexible right now? I remembered it. There's something in the how can I be more flexible right now that that is an indication of like if you know that one of these things is more important than the other, then like take what you need and leave the rest. So, how can I be more flexible right now is something that you should be asking yourself over and over throughout the month. If you've taken care of the financial part, how can I be more flexible right now? I need to stretch the part of me that has been avoiding going outside. If you've gone into nature and you're like real good about like going to the park and getting a little sunshine, laying out, watching the clouds pass, then how can I be more flexible about creating time to talk with myself about my finances? And how can I be flexible in my perspective on how things have been going or how things are going right now? How can I stretch myself to make sure that I'm fitting in more honesty, more vulnerability, more truth, more humility? I know that everybody wants to humble Leos from a place of, I don't know, maybe jealousy. And jealousy is an emotion that shows us things that we want to have more of. So people want to have more of our fucking audacity, our confidence, our self-love, our beauty, like our outstanding beauty. And for us to be confident and have earned that confidence, we need to be flexible about our perspectives. We need to be able to stretch into more honest, more inclusive understandings of what's going on in our world. And that takes a lot of mindset work. So, journaling prompt, this absolutely is for us. All right, so for our somatic practice, we have shake it out. And I will read this to you in just a second, but I want you to be able to take a screenshot if you would like, so you can save it for later. All right, now if you have a few seconds to do this, if you have like during the time as I'm reading this, you want to get up and do this, go ahead and do it. Shake it out. Start by gently shaking your hands back and forth, side to side, above your head and loose by your sides. Continue the shaking through your shoulders, chest, hips, feet, legs, and then your full body. Continue for 1 to 5 minutes, so keep going, keep shaking. Once you finish, notice what new sensations are present in your body. Shaking releases pent-up stress energy from your body. So notice what sensations are present in your body right now as you're shaking. Notice if there's any tightness, any rigidity, any pain points. Feel free to just take a deep breath and let it go and relax your body again. And just notice, is there anywhere that's like buzzing that maybe needs to be more tended to? Is there anywhere that felt really good doing that? And ooh, I need to do that more so that my hips can be wiggled out a couple times a day. Be sure to keep that practice so that you can continue to loosen up, be flexible, and open up parts of your body so that you can, again, like I said, be more honest with yourself. That also needs to happen as a whole package with being safe and feeling safe in your body. You can't feel empowered and protected if you don't feel safe, if your body doesn't feel safe to own those things and to claim those things. So be sure that you are shaking it out. There are also other somatic practices in the other horoscope videos. So be sure to stay until this part so that you can get a couple other somatic practices as well. All right, so lastly but not leastly, they're so beautiful. We have our affirmation cards, all right? So the first one is, I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. And I really get the sense that that is for the financial conversation that we just had. That is what that's referring to. I don't have to fear my finances. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. The next is, I feel my way into faith, one step at a time. Again, sometimes our minds and our heads, our own brains attack us and get us in the way of our faith and our understanding of what's right for us and what's really going on around us. Don't let your brain trick you or attack you and gaslight you out of what you absolutely know. But also, don't be afraid to introduce some balance into what you know, and make sure that you are being absolutely honest with yourself, because honesty is the place from which we develop trust. So if you're not being completely honest with yourself in all the times that you need to have faith in whether or not you can trust yourself to make the right decisions at the right time, you gotta be honest. You gotta practice being totally honest. And if you would like some insight on like the specific ways you can do that and the maybe areas of your life where you're being the most dishonest or the most honest with yourself so that we can celebrate you as well. I would love to do a private reading for you. I've got the link in the caption below. If you got something out of this reading, please like it. I would love to get more people experiencing these videos, and be sure to subscribe so that you can get these horoscopes every single month. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. Please be sure to take a sip of water. I'm really feeling it. So just take a sip of water right now. I know this is the end of the video, but let's go. Okay. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. And I hope you have a beautiful, a Leo beauty, beautiful, wonderful rest of your day.